Society today, we are being attacked constantly with inauthentic conversations, fakeness, trying to look cool, trying to be somebody we're not. That is why the Damn Dude podcast is here to have the authentic conversations that need to be had in a way that will make you think and say, Damn Dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude podcast. This is season 3, episode 21. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, California Cal, and I sound like one of those throat smoker type people on those commercials, and those drug commercials right now. Kind of lost my voice over the last few days for whatever reason. And we're just going to do this anyway. Out on the trail again, recording from the phone on the go. Still don't have the whole setup ready to go yet, but it's all good. It is what it is. And for those of you new to the show, this is a show where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude. Damn, dude. You know what I mean? This show exists to help educate, entertain, and make an impact on the different contexts and perspectives that we have in life. Because I truly believe that the more access we have to different contexts and perspectives, the easier, doper, smoother life is, and the more this shit just makes sense. You know what I mean? So, that's what this shit's about. Like, hold on, we're gonna pass some people real quick. But yeah, just like document all that shit, you know. That's the whole point of what this whole show is about, to document that shit. No, that's like, see, this is why I'm down to just do ghetto episodes, is because I'm down to just document this shit. And it kind of doesn't matter what it looks like, sounds like, or if my voice is okay, or I got the proper shit to record on, or whatever, right? Yeah, so I will say something that's kind of funny. I've been hearing about the way that I speak and what this show in general is that people are like, yo, people either completely understand this and fuck with the show or don't get it at all. And there's like no in between. And I know that, and I think that's cool. That's something I've actually kind of worked towards. It's like, this whole message is for people who really listen outside of judgment. People who can listen to receive and create context rather than have a preconceived context. And people who have a preconceived notion, or I need to like these types of things in order for me to like it. Like, if you're that type of person, you're not going to like the show, I don't think. Because the way the show occurs is like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when you first start listening. But when you listen to the whole episode, the whole thing always ties together. And that's one thing, is like, this show has structure. But what I do, how I structure it, is I figure out everything I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I'll do a freestyle episode. But for the most part, I got a structure. Then what I do is I go over it, I study it, and then I release it. I let go of that information. I let go of the exact specific details of it. So that way, when I go into it, I can describe it and talk about it fresh and brand new. From nothing. Coming from a place of nothingness. To be able to talk about the ideas which I've laid out in the first place. So even though it seems like I'm just being like, what am I talking about? I know exactly what I'm talking about. So, I understand that that's kind of like why I lose people, but that's also why I capture people on this show as well. You know what I mean? And there's a method to my madness. And to me, I think that my ability to do this is my own version of my own genius in a way, right? I'm not calling myself a genius, but I'm saying we all have a genius or multiple or whatever. And this is one of mine, to be able to talk for an hour and just keep the conversation pushing. Like, it feels like you're really fucking talking to me and like you had a real conversation with me. And that's the feel, and what I've been practicing and going for is like, yo, I want to feel like we're really right here. Not like you're listening to a podcast, but like, yo, you're chopping it up with a real ass motherfucker. And that's how I feel like when I talk to, I guess, myself, but you guys ultimately, right? And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I love getting feedback. I enjoy when people tell me why they don't like the show, or people say why other people don't like the show or whatever, right? And it's like, as this goes on, people are like, damn, the show is pretty cool, dude. Like, fuck, you really got something going here. This is cool. So I've got like a handful of loved ones who listen to the show regularly, and they go out and they share with people, and sometimes they won't share their relationship with me and just say, oh, check this show out, and then get the feedback from people. So that way it's like unbiased and people don't feel cornered. So it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, check this show out. It's really good. And some people will be like, oh, no, this or that, whatever. And some people are like, wow, this is amazing. And whatever, right? But it's almost never in between. It's like most of the people, once you start listening, like, you really fuck with the show. Otherwise, it's very common that, people just won't listen more than a few minutes. And it's because of this loosey-goosey style that I speak in. And that's kind of the point. I want to be able to know what the fuck I'm talking about. And most of us don't know what the words we use actually mean, and we don't actually understand them. So I do my best to speak simply. And with that being said, I think it's really interesting. I read this quote in my book I'm reading. I'm reading this book right now, Motherless Daughters, which my mom gave me. It's fucking crazy, dude. It's such a trip. It's about, like, losing your mom at a young age. And just kind of losing your mom in general. But, like, it's weird. I'm, like, reading and I'm like, yo, this is fucking wild, bro. Like, just the perspective on it is an absolute trip. It's like you don't even have to have lost your mom. It just kind of helps you appreciate your mom more. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But it said something like, it said, in many ways, I have became what? Wait, what? In many ways, I have become what that which I was. Why can't I read today? Let's try this again. In many ways, I have become what that which I once lost. Damn, dude. Nah, but like, that's pretty hard, dude. It's like, I've become what that which I once lost. So for me, what I lost was my childhood growing up. Like I said, and I'm very open about this, and I've shared many times, like when I was a kid, my little sister, my great aunt, and my grandma all passed away in the same month. And I was in like second grade, going in second grade, I think. And first, second grade. And I remember standing at my sister's funeral, standing at her casket. It was an open casket. And my sister was just shy of 2 years old. So she was a little baby, 2 years old. And so I'm just sitting there, or I'm standing there looking at my sister's casket, looking at her dead body, And I'm like 6 years old. I'm 6 years old. And I'm looking at her. She's not even 2 yet, passed away. And I just looked around and I was like, fuck, like, normally I was like a big center of attention to all the people that were there, my family, my parents' friends, all that. And this time everyone was just in their own world. Everyone was so sad, and I felt invisible. And in that moment, I was standing there. I was looking at my sister. I'm looking around the entire room. or the entire funeral home, the entire ceremony. And I'm like, damn, like nobody even knows I'm here or not here. You know what I mean? It was like everybody had their heads down. Well, that's how it at least felt, or how it looked to me. And I'm looking around and I'm like, fuck, my childhood is over. And I remember telling that to myself. Like, I thought that in my own head, and that was what I said in my mind. I'm like, dude, like, my childhood's over. Like, I made that decision as a little kid that my childhood was over. So, fast forward a bunch. I'm at my best friend Pablo's funeral when I'm 20. My best friend Pablo got murdered when he was 20. And, and we're the same age. And, at his funeral, and I've told this story a bunch of times too, but at his funeral, his uncle had said to really know Pablo was to see him interact with children. And like I said, Pablo was a hard motherfucker. He was a G. But he was a good person, a solid motherfucker. But to really, like, to be able to know Pablo was to see him interact with kids, to see that spirit, that light, that inner child come out of him. Because there's something which is like, when Pablo was a kid, he saw his best friends get murdered. When he was, I think when Pablo was 11, his best friend died in his arms. He got shot and he bled out in the streets. And that happened to my best friend, to his best friend when he was a little kid in the hood. And to have that happen, it just like, it fucks you up when you're young, you know? So Pablo like grew up fast. He lived like fucking multiple lifetimes in his short span of life. Well, it's not even fair to call it short the way that he lived his life. It was absolutely full and nothing short about it. But to us, what we would consider to be a 20-year-old, we consider short. But I think that's because we don't live on the same plane of existence that people who really fucking live life live on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had no, like, reservations or fear. I mean, if he did have fear, nobody would ever fucking know. But my point is that, like, at his funeral, it hit me. I was like, holy shit. It just reconnected my child self to my adult self. And it was like, hey, let me introduce you to you. You know, like, that's what God or my higher self or my spirit guide, whatever, told myself. It was like, let me introduce you to yourself. You know, and that's basically what happened. So I was like, holy fuck, let me meet me. Yo, like, adult fucked up, traumatized me. This is child me. You guys need to become friends and work together for the rest of your life. And I'm like, damn. Okay. How the fuck do we do this? And then that started leading to just like playing and natural rebellion. When I broke my skull, neck, and back in 8 places, I wasn't supposed to be able to walk again. And the doctor banned me from skateboarding, riding motorcycles, and surfing. And I was like, yo, I've already been banned from skateboarding. Like, because I had already, like, rolled all the ligaments in my ankles and broken my ankles a gang of times. And the doctor straight banned me already 2 or 3 times before this. I was like, okay, thanks, you know? And then, excuse me. Oh, my voice is, like, so gnarly. So then the doctor, so I had started riding my motorcycle to rehabilitation already. I had a neck brace and I was riding my Kawasaki Ninja to fucking rehab at the time. And this was in 2007. I had an 06 636 Candy Flat Plasma Blue with Akrapovic exhaust and the fucking, dude, this thing was fucking sick, man. Anyway, just fully moto nerded out. Well, started till I caught myself. Anyways, I was riding my motorcycle to rehab with a neck brace, and we were just like, this is kind of silly, dude. So I ended up listening to my doctor, hearing what he said, told me I can't ride motorcycles, which I was already doing, told me I can't skateboard, which I was already never going to stop doing. And then he's like, surfing, you're not allowed to surf. And I was like, the fuck? Like, these were just the examples. And then he threw out like football and this and that. Like, feel like things, it was weird. But surfing, when he said that, like everything just went quiet. And I just heard, Calvin, you need to learn to surf. And I'm like, damn, okay, I guess. So, like, because he told me that, like, I went back to my natural state of being like a little ass kid, was like, wait, what? Don't tell me what to do. Nah, you know, so I fucking went, bought a surfboard. Oh, so I healed up, and then I bought a surfboard. I ended up healing up fully. So I broke my neck in October 2007, a couple days before Halloween. And then I had I had healed up. It took me a long time to heal up and whatever. I mean, I guess it didn't take me a long time at all, actually. It was actually quicker than fuck. It was just a couple months. And then rehab time after that. So I'd finally stopped going to rehab the following October. And I was just like, man, fuck all the treatment. Fuck going to the doctor anymore. Fuck taking these. Well, I said fuck taking the pills long earlier than that. Yeah, if you can, don't take pills, guys. That shit's really, really fucking bad for you. Anyway, November 2008, I went to Costco and I bought a surfboard. The first year that they sold surfboards, the all blue Wave Storm with the white bottom, with the white writing up in the corner. For those of you guys that know, you're cracking up right now. But yeah, I bought one of those. I had a fucking wetsuit that was literally 2 sizes too big. I had a double XL wetsuit for some reason. I don't even know where I got it. One of my parents got it from like Play It Again Sports or like Goodwill or some shit. And actually, no, I don't think Goodwill stores existed yet. Do they? I don't know. Anyway, maybe they did. I just didn't know about them back then. Anyway, so I bought that board, and for those of you guys that know how surf works, around November is when you really start getting storm waves typically in San Diego, Southern California. So I was like out there just getting my fucking ass kicked. But here's the thing is like, because I'm an extra special type of stubborn, I fucking went and bought a board. And I went every single day for a year from that point. Literally every single day. Broken my fingers, broke my toes. I just yank them straight, crack them straight, tape it to like a plastic yogurt spoon, and then tape it up to the next finger, and then fucking paddle out again, or my toes or whatever, right? Toes, you can kind of just leave them, but sometimes, depending how gnarly it was, I just yank them out, tape it to the next toe. And so I was doing that till I finally fucking figured it out, man. It took me forever because I didn't know anybody who surf. I didn't know how to surf. I didn't know any instructions. I didn't even want to know about how to surf or anything about it either because I was just so like, I've already started. I'm not going to stop till I figure this out. So the reason I tell this story again is because that is the first signs and the first steps of how I got to discover my own personal inner child again. That same little thing in me that has me, you know, go out with my lady at fucking the middle of the night to the beach or hike up a mountain and go sing songs at the top or like, you know, fucking go smoke a blunt, go on a big hike, go fucking take some shrooms, get lost in the wilderness, go have a fucking exploration, just cool fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck not, you know? And like, I don't know, man. I just love to play, dude. Like, I'm a very serious individual, but I'm also like very playful and weird all at the same time. And it's like, a lot of people don't know how to read it or gauge it, and you can't really tell if I'm pissed or if I'm serious or whatever. But it's like, the biggest reality about me is like, I'm really not mad, and I'm not really not outwardly happy, but I'm also not sad, and I'm also not wondering anything or like trying to do anything. Like, I'm just present. It's like, I don't just exist, but I'm here appreciating everything in the current moment to the best of my abilities, so that way I could just play. And I like to take life as I need it. You know, I don't necessarily like life to just come at me. And I also don't necessarily like to just completely charge life. I like to just meet at the middle. And it's like, we meet each other at each other's pace naturally. And that doesn't mean that I'm not down to work hard or fucking take what's mine or any of that shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm more saying that from a place of internal peace in your mind, peace of mind, you know, and that's way bigger and deeper than happiness. That's why it's like, I don't really give a fuck about happiness that much. I'm more just like, I'd rather be fulfilled and have peace of mind. And if I can walk around fulfilled and have peace of mind, then that means I'm being kind to people. That means I'm taking care of people. I'm looking out for others, being a good person, seeing where I can help make the world a better place. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't really give a fuck about happiness. And I don't think anybody really should focus on happiness. Maybe in certain instances or contexts where it makes sense, but as a whole, as an overall whole, I really don't think we should be focusing on happiness. I think we should be focusing on fulfillment, how to help ourselves in order to help more people. You know, like, if you do those things, how are you going to lose? It's a winning combo. It's a winning recipe. Help yourself to the best abilities so you can help others to the best of your abilities. So then others can help you to the best of their abilities. And just keep that going on a forever triangle. Right? And it's like, if we can keep a network of good doings alive and present for each other, why not opt for and choose that? Right? So I think a major part of it is like, for me, going back to my inner child, discovering my inner child, being reintroduced or reintroducing myself to my inner child, I've discovered a lot of peace of mind and a lot of freedom in my brain and a lot of freedom in my thoughts and my attitude and my energy. You know, and that's part of half the trick of how I keep recording these fucking episodes is just exactly that. It's like, I don't make it mean anything. I just keep going. I don't have my equipment. Oh, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't matter. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be fucking perfect. And the thing is, most people just try and be perfect because they're worried about what other people fucking think about their thing anyways. And it's like almost safer this day and age to take the route of, I don't give a fuck what people think, versus, oh, I'm going to cater to everybody and everybody's going to be my friend and da-da-da. Like, nah. I can work sometimes, but you're better off, and for the sake of your own self-expression, doing you. All the way through and through. You know what I mean? Like, why fucking not at this point? You know what I mean? We've gotten to a point where you can have some fucking raspy guy walking on a trail, talking to a phone, talking to you through your fucking magic headphones and speakers and whatever that we don't know how the fuck work. And what this raspy guy on the trail is telling you is that it's all good. Keep it pushing. And just do shit that's going to make you fulfilled and free your mind, not fill your mind. I think when a lot of people encounter hard situations, they start filling their mind instead of freeing their mind. And that's kind of the unfortunateness of the way of Western society is when there's an ailment, we start adding more. We don't start taking away. So this happens mentally too, on top of like how our medicine works. You know, it's like if you get fucking some kind of illness, they just start giving you more pills and shots and this and that, rather than taking away, starving it out, and then eliminating it, rather than overloading to kill. Because then along goes all the rest of the good shit in you that gets murked and all jacked up, you know? So that's a thing, dude. It's like, if we have the ability to have these conversations, to hear these thoughts, these ideas, these contexts, then we should take them and run with them, because it's a choice, it's an option. You know? And the way I see it, it's like, dude, let's free the mind, not overcrowd the mind. It's like, I look at it too, it's like, for example, like most common thing, people end a relationship with somebody and then immediately jump into something new. I think that's almost always the wrong thing to do. Like almost always. Now, the reason I say that is because you got an injury, now you just filled it with something else. Well, what about letting that injury heal so that way you're not going out and trying to fucking make love with an open wound? Ha, right? How many people are trying to go out and fucking make love with an open wound, so to say? And that could be a heart wound, a soul wound. You know, I mean, picture how gross a flesh wound would be. Now it's that energetically and emotionally. So it's like if you got an energetic wound bleeding on your partner, on whoever the fuck you're hooking up with, whatever, whoever you think you're loving, whatever, you just can't all the way, and it won't be clear because that wound has to heal. And the other person can only love you so much with an open wound. You know what I mean? It's like, can't massage your back if there's fucking cuts and blood everywhere. Can't even take care of you properly because the healing hasn't taken place. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing happens with our heart and our emotions and our soul and our spirit and our identity. That's the other piece that a lot of people don't talk about when we go through big emotional things, is how our identity has to reshape, re-squeeze, restructure, refit your brain, your body, your spirit, and they all go into recalibration mode. So it's the thing is like, your body's in this whole recalibration mode of healing, how to fix itself, how to feel the pain, how to process the pain, all that stuff. And you just jump to the next thing, you're just bleeding on the next individual, you know? Now that's the thing though, is most of the time, other individuals who are open to that are bleeding individuals as well. They're bleeding emotionally, spiritually, in their thoughts, in their thinking, in their yearning, in their wants and desires. So that's the thing. It's like, it's easy for two people to be like, oh yeah, it sucks to be like, doesn't it suck to be bloody? Versus it's like, yo, we shouldn't be bloody, so to say, and we should just fucking heal our shit, clean our shit, then see if we're actually compatible from a place of strength, not from a place of half-hearted massages because you got cuts on your back. Boom. That was pretty good, huh? No, but some very, very real shit though. And that's like, most of the time people will hear it, agree, acknowledge, and be like, yeah, I know. And then do it anyway. That's the thing, is like, dude, like, especially men, how many of you guys just start thinking with your dick as soon as you get your heart broken? You know what I'm saying? Then you got women who think the same. You got women who treat their vagina like a fucking dick and think with it like that. As or that's not like the typical woman way to go. Not saying women don't feel this or that or have wants or this or that. But the thing is, like, here's just another layer to it. A lot of times when a relationship is done, the woman's already fucking like done the healing and is already like emotionally and spiritually moving forward and kind of already has before it's completely over. As or with men, we don't start that process until it's fully done and we've gone through this whole denial thing. But then, like, as time goes on and it heals, we're like, oh, okay. Then you got dudes who take the, man, fuck that bitch, she crazy anyway. Those guys didn't do the work. Then you got the people who are like, you got the dudes who are like, man, didn't work out. You know, we both played our part. This is what I would do better if I were presented with this situation in a relationship again. It's how I would handle it next time. Whatever. That's a person, that's a man doing the work. So that's the thing, is like, connect with your inner masculinity, connect with your inner femininity. What do you actually want? What does that yearning to go fuck somebody or whatever actually mean? You know what I mean? Is it worth sharing that gross energy and your wantiness and that gross relationship residue and goo and bleeding fucking horniness and emotional grossness? You know what I'm saying? This is the real shit that people don't want to fucking talk about. You know what I mean? Not to say you're not going to make mistakes, or you can't have your fun or whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want. But here's the thing, is like, why not move smarter, wiser, with more intention and purpose and understanding of what we're doing, right? Think about how much, like, fucking drama and trouble and weird thoughts and gross feelings and all that you could save yourself from fucking avoiding breaking up, fucking hopping back with an ex, fucking hopping on Tinder or whatever the fuck. Like, for one, I don't think you should be hopping on this shit anyways. I don't think there's really... Okay, let me say this the right way. I was about to say I don't think there's any quality people on there, but let me rephrase that, because I know quality people who have gone or had Tinder or whatever, right? What I more so mean to say is a quality partner. Like, if you were a high quality partner and you actually have a lot to offer, I don't think you're going to find yourself on those, because you understand your value and you wouldn't really need to put yourself out there that way. Now, at the same time, if that's what you do and you're going to argue it, whatever, cool, then good for you. I hope you find the other person who's also that in there. Right? Like, that's fine. I'm not saying it's this way or that way. I'm just saying, like, my point of view, I think the whole thing's kind of gross. And I think it's weird. And so be it. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be able to fucking say that than to not. And this kind of part of the magic is, like, understand your value, know what you're comfortable saying, know what you're comfortable accepting or not accepting, know what you're comfortable not to speak on or to speak on. You know what I mean? So it's like, when we understand these core values of ourself and our core principles, where we come from, our intentions, what we're willing to speak on or not speak on, where we come from, you know, then you don't settle for any shit. And if I talk the way I talk and it's offensive and you can't tolerate it, then I just save myself a whole lot of headache in terms of trying to find a partner or whatever the fuck, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it works to your advantage to just be your fucking self. It's better to offend people than to just be cowardly about shit. Because when you're, and this is like, me and my lady had a big talk about this. It's pretty funny. But it's like, for me personally, I'm completely okay with offending people. Now, what that does not mean is that I am out to offend people and that I want to offend people or that I'm trying to offend people. No, it's never my purpose or intention, ever, 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 ever. And I don't care if I offend people. You see what I'm saying? There's a big difference. Now, Why do I not care to offend people? Because when you can offend people, it's like a filtration system for your life. Think about like you've got brown water sediment, right? And it's going through a filter. Is it offensive that the filter's blocking the dirt particles? Shouldn't all the fucking dirt particles and elements of nature's water get to be together? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying and what I mean by that is when you're able to just speak your truth and you're not trying to be offensive, but you also don't mind or you don't care if you offend people or not, then you're free to just do whatever and like hang out. Okay, I'm kind of saying that very loosely, but more so, you're free to move around with people that you actually want to move around with. Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, or like, I'm not like a highly opinionated person, but I'm not afraid to speak the truth. And I don't mean, oh, my truth. I mean the truth, like reality. I always understand there's three sides to a coin. So, because I'm okay with people finding my beliefs and what I have to say offensive, that means I don't have to hang out with people I don't want to hang out with. I don't find myself at dinners with irritating people. I don't find myself in circles of people hanging out where I'm like, can we like go home, or like, can we actually start talking? You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like I don't find myself in those kind of circles anymore. Before I would find myself in like the obligated, I gotta go to the bar, you know, this and that, like all the shit I want to do. No, you know, there's nothing wrong if that's what you like, but I don't like that. And that, okay. I don't enjoy doing that on a regular basis. I enjoy it sometimes. But it's just not my thing, right? The same way it's like me talking and making this podcast is my thing, and it may not be your thing. That's fine, right? That's the beauty of us all being different people. But yeah, dude, like, I've just found it so much better feeling to just kind of like I move mindfully and I don't argue with people. I'll talk to a certain limit and I could tell if somebody's already made up their mind so much so about something. I'm not going to keep pushing it. I just let them have their correct opinion to themselves and let them think that they've imposed it on me. And then I'll listen and see if it makes sense, if I should have it imposed on me or not. And then I'll take the information and move forward and either apply it and add it or contrast it and be like, all right, well, the other information I learned about it definitely adds up more and makes more sense, right? So that's the thing is like, I think that's where we get such a big disconnect these days is we have a listening problem. And what I mean by that is like I've said before, it's like having preconceived notions of what to say and think going into a conversation. And it's like if you already know what you're going to say and think in just a regular conversation or amongst meeting people, then you automatically are an irritating person. You know what I mean? And if you are that way, then that's fine. I used to probably be like the king of that shit, dude, of like having a whole set of things. And if it wasn't that, then I had a tantrum or I felt some sort of way or, whoa, I just saw a big animal again or whatever the fuck, right? And it's just of low emotional intelligence to go about things in a way where you have to put your opinion on it, or you have to say your story to relate, or shit like that, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, can I just tell this? Or, you know, it's like, I know people will, if you're like, for example, oh, I went to fucking Mexico to blah, blah, blah. You know, I went to Mazatlan and saw da-da-da. Oh, well, I wanted to say Cabo San Lucas in it, blah, 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 so blah, blah. Like, all right, well, Okay. But what did that have to do with anything about my, original thing I said about Mazatlan? You're just speaking just to interject your stories and your thoughts. You're actually listening to the conversation. And an example of somebody actually listening would be like, oh, Mazatlan, what's that like? Or how come? Or what was that? What was that event like? Or say, you know what I'm saying? It would be something that's actually relatable and makes sense versus just respond with something that's relatable. You follow what I'm saying? And there's a big difference in the two. So, to kind of tie all this together, I think the most important thing to look at with all of this is how do we speak to and relate to ourselves and the way that we think? Do we have a healthy relationship with the way that we think and organize our thoughts? Because if you don't, that's okay, and it can definitely be learned and practiced. And there's all sorts of different tools, and that's kind of what this whole podcast is. It's just essentially a tool to overcome depression and shit, and the tools I used, and I just document them. And it's also just for the sake of documenting in my legacy, right? So my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids can know who I am, where they come from, and understand the family better. And understand themselves better. And to properly document history the way that it actually fucking is for our family. So yeah, man, I encourage everybody to document as much as you can. Because even if your life is boring or you don't fucking do anything or it's not that cool or you do the same thing every day or whatever, that's exciting too. And this is what Gary Vee talks about with social media contests. It doesn't matter. As long as it's real, that's what people are craving is the authenticity. And I realized, oh damn, again with this show, people who are authentic to themselves, this fully resonates for them. And you're not listening for this preconceived wanting of a specific order to be in this certain way. And I can talk in that structured, ordered way, but I don't like it. It doesn't feel good to me. And it kind of keeps people on these false hopes until they hear me say something that's raw and they go, oh, I don't fuck with this guy. So I figured, you know what? It's better just to make it raw as fuck, shake up the weird people's brains who have preconceived notions and thinking, and the rest of us who are open and free thinkers, we can have these conversations without arguments, without closed offness. We can have discussions and ways of thinking where it's open and free and of help, and be oh, I see that. Well, you know what? Maybe you should try considering this. Try this idea on. Da-da-da. And it's when we can do that, we're fucking free. You know what I'm saying? And then our relationships become free. Our minds become free. So, as I build back self-confidence after just these last few years of just getting my ass kicked by life, this is what I'm observing how to do it. As I feel more confidence enter my body, my mind, my thinking, my speech, my habits, I find myself becoming more free with more confidence and greater abilities because of what I'm able to do in my mind. And I guess also not do in my mind. So, with that being said, you guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, the show always ties back together. We leave it loosey-goosey to shake off the haters. The haters and the jackers and the $1 million crackers trying to close me down. Because I got ghetto love. I'm Pimp C, bitch. Coming down richer than rich. So, bitch, you gotta give me good stuff. No, real shit, though. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. It's always beautiful. Please be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your best friends. Tree trimming, wood splitting, axe wielding, axe maker, about the Damn Dude motherfucking podcast. Again, this is season 3, episode 21. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Remember to breathe and take deep breaths. If you got any value out of the show, please share. You can also donate to our Cash App, $, Damn Dude Podcast. Otherwise, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace.